Hello and welcome to the IMBA Cup. This is the Battle of the Undefeated. The last two. We got Voodoo playing his UEF. Going first ground. You can see the build order here. And he is taking on Lucian, who's playing a Cybern. I think this is the second time somebody played with Cybern. Actually, third time. Zoc played with Cybern too, and so far Cybern's been very unsuccessful in Forged Alliance Forever. And somebody said that when Rock doesn't play Cybern, you know Cybern's not that good. You can see second air from Voodoo. Going total of 7 pigeons here. 2 mask extractors with the ACU, and then going to the middle with the ACU. So this map, my favorite map, has a whole bunch of civs in the middle. They are protected by 4 PDs and a lot of mass that players can fight over. One surprising thing, we haven't seen first bomber so far this turn. Has been all about first bomber, really. The person who utilizes that more has won almost every single game. We are seeing second air from Lucian. Their Jester is an option that we haven't seen almost at all this entire tourney. We are seeing some mech marines now coming from Voodoo. I see he's got a long ways to go. He's going to try to pick off some of those NGs. And a lot of micro on those trees actually from Voodoo. He's trying to get as much mess as he can from these trees. We also see some raiders, perhaps see some hunters pretty soon. Yes, some hunters. You really need the speed early on, such a large map. And looks like the ACUs are going to get a few factories in. At least it looks like 7 pigeons each before they go out to the middle. And we're going to see some of the first fighting, the hunter versus mech marine. There is some radar. Looks like the mech marine was just riding a straight line and got some really nice shots in. Gets the first kill of the match. There is another mech marine searching for an NG to kill. Or there's a scout from Lucian there as well. And here's that mech marine with the first kill. Actually got 2 kills. He's going to try to pick off this NG. And just runs past it. Just keeps on running into the corner. And here's another. On the other side we got a multiple mech marine. There's some nice micro from Voodoo here, dodging a lot of shots. It's 2v1. And it actually wins 2v1. Excellent work, but on top 2v1 loss for Voodoo. This is a great mech marine from Voodoo early on. It's a huge loss of this NG. You can see this NG had lots of things planned for it, factories and things. We are seeing first units in the middle. Some Arty gonna take out this PD for Lucian. It's coming up on minute 4. We also see some Arty for Voodoo, and he is gonna go to the middle as well. Now, if you see the first bombers, this is nearly mirror images here. Both players getting a bomber, and they're actually gonna cross paths here. See how successful they are. It looks like early map control is going on Voodoo's favor, given that he did win those early mech marine versus hunter fights. Here's the bomber for Lucian. It's actually going to bomb nearly simultaneously with Voodoo. When Voodoo comes in, he's probably going to pick up some kills. Drops off the bombs. And it looks like this was not a successful bombing run from Lucian. Didn't get any targets. But that bomber for Voodoo gets taken out after 1 pass. No passes for Lucian. Now second bomber for Voodoo. Runs into quite a few interceptors, but actually gets the bombs. But doesn't quite take out some of those NGs. We're also seeing these mech marines from Voodoo just keep on doing their work, playing very wide. We also see hunters from Lucian, but these don't have a radar, can still do some damage however. And now the middle fight is beginning. You can see Lucian slightly earlier. Does have some Arty accompanying him. Probably already picked up quite a bit of mass. Now it's minute 5. We are seeing some tanks with Voodoo in the middle. Now looking wide, we can see here, yeah, these hunters for Lucian actually doing dismantis. Some hunters doing a good job, but on the other side, excellent work from these mech marines. And now in the middle, Pretty even numbers, perhaps a little more for Lushan, but we gotta remember this ACU's got 2,000 more extra health. Just huge, given the weak ACU nuke. Here are some interceptors from Lushan. Definitely gonna see the Sanji picking up his mass. And all the mass is gone except a few buildings. We see at minute 6, Lushan picked up 2,500, Voodoo 2,300. Extremely even. But here on the bottom, pretty big difference here. All these mass extractors for Voodoo very secure, and he's pushing up on top. Although we do have this single mantis rating. And now we see it looks like Voodoo decided to stay in the middle. It's actually very valuable for mass spots, and Lushan is moving over to the side. He's going to try to capture the top base. He's got a whole bunch of mantis moving that direction. However, he did send a couple mantis down. This will be very good. This unprotected NG from Voodoo. And these Marines have been blocking NGs the entire game are finally going to get taken out. There's also a drop here from Lushan. Some NGs in it. And this mantis actually gets all the way around. It has the potential to take out a few mass extractors, and on top this is definitely going to belong to Lushan. It's got plenty, about 10 mantis there plus some NGs. And on the bottom here, actually it looks like Lushan is beginning to take back some of the map. But will he be able to recover? We are seeing T2 ground from Voodoo. These are mongoose, extremely powerful. We'd want to see hoplites or maybe T2 air from Lushan to try to counter. This is just sloppy from Lushan. He forgot to kill an NG and a whole bunch of mass extractors, and he's already pushing. Looks like here on the bottom, success from Voodoo winning back this bottom base, but also some more rating coming in. Looks like Voodoo just moving up to the middle with his ACU and upgrades directly into Lushan's base. He does have total air control with bombers taking free shots at these NGs. Well, not quite total air control, but actually it's quite close. But still free bombing rates for Voodoo. Now Voodoo just leading with his ACU. He does have a lot of support, plus T2 coming in. This is big trouble for Lushan. Looks like Lushan might have more of the map, but he's about to lose his main base. This is Mantis against UEF ACU plus these mongoose. They got the range. There's just not much you can do. There's some PD being built by Lushan. And Lushan's all alone here. He's going to have to make a new base. He's thinking what to do. It's going to take a long time to make it all the way to where Voodoo is now at 21 kills. You can see these Mongols have such long range, plus a shield coming in for Voodoo. Actually some raiding here in Voodoo's base as well. Some Mantis have snuck in. These are the ones from here from the top. But should be able to defend against this with these Mongoose. And it looks like Voodoo is running over Lushan's base completely. Lushan is trying to rebuild on his expansions. He's got an engine here, maybe get some factories. And now these Mantis just don't have the firepower to cause damage to buildings. Need some arty with these. Take a long time for them to do anything. Mongoose on the other hand do have pretty good firepower, plus the ACU. You can see how quickly Lushan's base is gone. Some more raiding from Lushan, but at this point really no base for Lushan, and this is middle 11. And it appears that Voodoo has won this game. Very dominating. If we look at what happened, Lushan early on won some of their early battles with those mech marines, gave him a pretty big advantage in terms of how many mask extractors he had. In the middle of the fight was very even, with the mask being split even, and Lushan went over to the side, and very simple for Voodoo. He just walked into the middle, through the middle with some T2 directly into Lushan's base, and Lushan absolutely couldn't do anything. Looks like Lushan is riding something on the ground. Still some raiding here, killing off Lushan's lone units, and it does say GG in walls, so Lushan knows. So this is a first game out of 3. So Lushan still has not lost if he wins the next 2 games. But this has been a pretty dominating performance from Voodoo so far. It's going to be nearly minute 13 by the time this ACU dies. So we're going to switch off to the new game. Here we have the second game of the undefeated matchup between Voodoo and Lushan in the IMBA Cup. We got Voodoo once again. He just beat Lushan on Arctic. Now this map is much more difficult. There's so much stuff happening all over the place. Got these 2 members in the middle pointing in different directions. Looks like Voodoo is going first land. No first bombers in this game. It's very surprising. Lushan also going first land, playing a Seraphim. So once again, actually this time Lushan decided not to go with Cybern. Perhaps if Lushan had Seraphim last game, it would have for sure lasted a little longer. Cybern is just so weak, and I'll speed this one a little more than the last one. So looking at this map, so many little islands, very spread out, plus mask structures underwater, hydras underwater. So it's really all about map control. You can't really hold on to one position in Turtle, and you gotta fight both on land and sea. So perhaps Seraphim will have a slight advantage with the floating arty. We do see second air after the hydro. Looks like 1 PGen, hydro, air, and then 2 more PGens for Voodoo. And it looks like a pretty big land spam. That was a Celine that just got reclaimed by Voodoo. So good work from that NG. Celine's from Lushan has been going all over the map. We do have a group of Mech Marines from Voodoo plus a radar. We saw how good these were for him last game. It really gave him that early advantage. Now we are seeing the first bomber from Voodoo. It's coming up in minute 3. We also see a bomber being built by Lushan. So Lushan slightly behind here. Some tanks coming up for Lushan. Lushan going down, Voodoo going up. That was pretty devastating. That was a nice bomb from Voodoo. An interceptor actually from Voodoo as well. He's going to take out that bomber before he could do anything. Now an interceptor coming out for Lushan as well. Second bomber coming in for Voodoo. So total air domination in this game. That was a nice dodge from Lushan. And now Mech Marines coming in as well. So Voodoo attacking Lushan's base from both air and ground now. Got to see here, Lushan really ran to the bottom here to capture the spot. Now we're seeing the Mech Marines coming out. These are flagged. They can't shoot at Mech Marines. So this is a great piece of attacking from Voodoo. And now Lushan finds himself in big trouble. If he loses his game, he is going to lose this matchup. Now it looks like the tank is taking care of the situation for Lushan, but still big trouble this entire game. Voodoo getting some of these mask structures, going to build some more T1 spam. These raiders from Voodoo just continue to do really good work. They can get around the map very quickly. You can see the army here from Lushan is mostly flak. Lushan's going to get a factory here as well, very similar to what Voodoo's doing. We also see this NG's in the water, expanding for both players, so very similar. But so far here, this has been a very big difference for these two sides. Absolutely no raiding for Voodoo here, very safe place. This has just been all of Voodoo territory, with Mech Marines taking out many mask structures, many NGs. Looks like Lushan is going to keep moving with his ACU toward Voodoo's base. Actually, no, never mind. He is turning back now. Going to help out with a Hydra, and changes his mind. Now we got forces coming in from multiple directions for Voodoo. He's also getting a navy. And you can see here big trouble for Lushan is going to move his forces to help out. Very big difference here. Plenty of mass extractors for Voodoo on the bottom. Lushan has to fight for his mass. Also, very well placed tank here from Voodoo, protecting those mass extractors, and actually now big trouble at Voodoo's bottom base. He has left with his ACU and didn't have enough units to protect. But now it looks like the Artie will be able to save this base for him. So just barely. It looks like he didn't even get that hydro built. Now Lushan moving in with his ACU toward Voodoo's base. Voodoo is also moving in toward Lushan's base through the top. So you can see how both players went in a circle. Looks like a group of units from Voodoo avoiding the ACU are going to finally take out Lushan's base here on the bottom. Looks like a drop is planned for Lushan. 9 kills for Lushan, still just thinking about what to do. Yeah, he's definitely going to lose this base. And here's some T1 fighting, EF versus Seraphim. Looks like Voodoo is retreating back. We'll see if this drop is successful. Perhaps just dropping off NGs here. That's 6 free mass extractors. Would have been better than, but we'll see how successful this drop is. Lushan's still picking up mass extractors. Submarines coming in for. Oh, that was just tragic. Actually, he got those off, so that's nice. You can't go in the water if you're Lushan. There are submarines in the water, and that's a pretty large force. So Voodoo has to be very careful here at a minute 10. This is actually a very nice drop here from Lushan, taking out some T2 mass extractors. And now we are seeing Lushan is going to be chased into the water. The superior force. We'll see some T2 from Voodoo. So this has been very dominating, and this is going to be game over for Lushan. 2 very fast games, and Voodoo has just been very impressive here. We're going to see Lushan sitting on the water talking to a submarine. And not much that Lushan can do. Is going to end with 28 kills. And it was really Voodoo with that impressive attack with both mech marines and bombers. Completely set Lushan on the back foot, and after that it's been over. So now we're going to watch game 3, which does not matter anymore. Voodoo is going to be in the final. This is the 3rd and final game of this best of 3 series that Voodoo has already won. This time Voodoo is Seraphim. He hates this map. Yeah, this map is kind of difficult for 1v1, and Lushan is playing Cybern once again. So this map is really a 4v4. It's an 8-player map. It's got a lot of mass, really thin choke points. 2 different oceans, one on the inside, one on the outside. We'll play this one fast. So just to remind people, Voodoo is now in the final. Lushan is going to play either Curry or Ubergeek. Curry and Ubergeek's got to play their game, which is going to be on Roanoke sometime this week. And then next weekend we will see Lushan versus either Ubergeek or Curry play a best of 3. And that'll be interesting. And then the winner of that is going to play against Voodoo once again. See second air from Lushan. Second air from Voodoo as well. So with it, Forged Alliance Forever, it's either first or second air, no matter what you're doing. A lot of rocks here to reclaim for Voodoo. See, actually almost third, but second air for Lushan. He's going to get some bombers and a navy coming in for Lushan as well. So we see first interceptors for Voodoo take out that bomber right away. And now Lushan has to make anti-air turret at his base to chase these interceptors away. See a drop from Voodoo, he's going to claim a base for himself. That's really what you got to do on this map. There's so much free bases, you just got to drop on them first. Looks like a hunter is going to pick up a kill. So a very nice hunter from Lushan. Actually forgets to kill this NG and just keeps on rolling through. Yet another drop from Voodoo. Has been one big difference between Voodoo and Lushan in this one. No drops from Lushan yet, and Voodoo picking up most of the map. So the feeling here is that Voodoo is feeling much better today than Lushan. Lushan's usually a much better player, but perhaps it's just when Lushan has to face Voodoo, everything goes wrong. We do see this Navy now coming in for Lushan, having some success against air. It's already an established base here with 4 land factories getting on the 5th. They're going to stop Lushan's forces here, no problems. On the other side also multiple T1 land factories for Voodoo. So not clear how effective this Navy is going to be from Lushan. We are seeing a drop now coming in for Voodoo here in minute 6. It's an NG drop. See if these NGs remember to do something. Some bombing against an expansion. Yeah, those NGs got killed pretty quick. It looks like Voodoo is going to be pushing back. This expansion base already with 7 factories getting the 8th. It's going to be a big Tech 1 spam that Lushan's going to have to worry about here on the left side. On the right side, it's completely all Voodoo. It's just an NG with some Mantis moving up. They're going to be ran over, so let's just see how much reclamation we've had this game. Nearly 9,000 for Voodoo. Lushan had 4,000. And that's the difference between not getting transports to move out to the expansions. There's so many rocks at each one of these bases. You can see here Voodoo picking up a lot of these rocks. And now we are seeing, except for the middle where Lushan has a Navy and actually going T2 Navy with a cruiser, the rest of the map is controlled by Voodoo. And he's rolling through hard, and he's going to be at Lushan's main base very soon. You can see numbers are just working out very well for Voodoo. Looks like Lushan is going to use his ACU to try to block off this choke point. It's only actually T2 now. T2 land for Lushan. Perhaps that can stop this flow of units. We do see some Wangers coming in. Actually multiple Wangers here now. And up on top, Lushan is going to try to use his ACU to stop the spam. Here we see multiple factories. This is 10 Tech 1 land factories here. Even more on the left side. But it looks like the T2 is taking care of the problem for Lushan on the left checkpoint, and then Lushan here with his ACU having some trouble, but now some T2 coming in here as well. And now we are seeing a cruiser coming in for Lushan, so perhaps he's able to do something. It'll be a floating arty versus cruiser perhaps. This cruiser should win that battle very easily. You see the Air Force together with the cruiser. Perhaps Lushan can win air back. Seeing T2 air from Voodoo. He's getting T2 gunships. These could actually be a good counter to a cruiser if you get enough of them and with good air support. This floating arty is going to be devastating to this T2 factory. It looks like these T2 Wangers, actually 31 kill Wanger here. That's an excellent unit. So now here comes the cruiser already with 9 kills. From Lushan taking out T2 mass extractor. That's an excellent unit. We did see these floating arty take out the naval production for Lushan. So far it's been a pretty good battle, but it looks like actually T2 here pushing Voodoo back on the right side as well. But this floating arty is just devastating. So Seraphim, pretty big advantage. 21 kills for the cruiser. Now we do see some gunships coming in. Actually a large group of gunships now from Voodoo. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be the end. And Lushan's got to run for the water. Total air domination. It's very hard to dodge these, but it's possible. Some T2 flag coming in for Lushan. Actually kills off quite a few of those. So Lushan survives that T2 snipe, but he's got trouble at his main base. Still see some of those wangers getting kills, getting quite a few. They were very effective in these situations. And this cruiser from Lushan still alive, 34 kills. So very impressive T2 from Lushan so far with this flag saving the ACU. This cruiser now still 34 kills. And these wangers have really kept his base alive. But very simple Tech 1 spam from Voodoo with this floating arty is very much dominating this game. It looks like some arty snuck in. It's going to get some T2 mass extractors. So after that early success, Voodoo is having some troubles, but he's still way ahead in this one. So here coming up on 17 minutes, 29,000 reclaimed for Voodoo. Lushan at 14,000. That's a massive difference. It's again map control is the difference. 35 kills now for Lushan's cruiser. Looks like Lushan's going to put his ACU on a transport. He has lost his first expansion. He doesn't really have too much production left at his base. Looks like he got ran over by quite a few T1 units. And he is somewhere in the middle on a transport. Moving in now towards Lushan's base. And this can't be anything but a suicide. Now here come Seraphim torp bombers versus cruiser. And these are notoriously bad. But it's not going to matter. Here comes Lushan. Drop off right next to Voodoo. And you can see all those T2 PDs. And it is 3-0. Voodoo versus Lushan, but perhaps Lushan can get a rematch in the final.